Hey guys, what's going on? So here are 10 tips I really want to talk about that might help with your trading. These are things that I really try to understand and try to do as much as possible within this space. And let's go. Let's just get straight into it. So tip number 1, don't fall for the flashy. I'm telling you now, I fell for it. Years ago, when I first started to come into this industry, I fell for the flashy. I fell for people who had nice cars, nice houses, walking around with bags of money, showing Lambos and all of that. And I can tell you, it is very, very, very likely that anybody who is doing that is probably not the person to learn from. Maybe they are good traders and maybe they do have a lot of money, but that does not mean that these are the people that you want to learn from. A lot of the time they're very arrogant and they can't teach, right? I've seen it. It's something that I don't feel like that's the type of person that you should learn from, because it proves that they have money. That's it. It doesn't prove that they can get you to replicate their results, right? Tip number 2, don't listen to people who say that it is easy. I have said this in a recent interview I did on the Trading That YouTube channel, right? It is not. I can assure you, it is not. Even now, in my many years of doing this, I still think it is not easy. And I will say that to anybody. What I do is simple, but it is not easy. And there is a difference. Look it up. Nobody should be able to tell you that trading is easy. Just like being a pilot is not easy, being a doctor is not easy, being a lawyer is not easy. Trading is a career all the same. The same way you have to study and understand this thing and go through the motions for years and years, I can assure you, anybody who's telling you that this thing is easy is very much lying to you. Right? Tip number 3, don't fall victim to the garbage that is the education media. Right? People telling you, well, here's what to do. All you need to do is put a line here, put a zone here, and that's it. It's very likely that they themselves don't know what's going on. What happens in this space is way more in-depth. It takes way more than just drawing on your chart. A lot of the time you'll actually realize that it has nothing to do with your strategy. I've taught many students in my years, many, and I can assure you that most traders can trade. The problem is themselves and their minds interacting with the industry, right? I literally just got out of a class with a student and he was able to break down a trade without any fail, but he's not necessarily doing the best in terms of his own personal results. Why? Because it has nothing to do with his strategy. It's more so to do with him and how he's interacting with the market. And I'll tell you this, the education media, that is the trading education media, whether it be Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever, they are all going to tell you that it's your strategy that's the problem. That's not true. I can assure you of that. It's not. Right? Tip number 4, do not think that you can't trade any session you want. Let me tell you this now. While it is true that the Asian session is known for consolidation, and it is true that the New York session is known for reversals, I am here to tell you that the sessions are not nearly as important as you think they are. Right? This is something that I've learned in my own trading. I'm telling you, I trade the Asian session, I've traded the London session, I've traded the New York session. They all trade the same. All you need to do is know how the sessions work and you can navigate around that. Right? I can assure you, I promise you, they are not as important as you think they are. Tip number 5, don't think that win to loss ratios are everything. Meaning, don't think that you need to have like a 99% win loss ratio in order to succeed in this space. When people are telling you that they have a 99% win loss ratio, they are full of BS. It is unlikely that you're going to win 99% of your trades. A proper win loss ratio, I would say a good win loss ratio, right? Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I would say a very good win loss ratio is about 65%. Maybe 70%, but you could actually get by with 30% win loss, 40% win loss, and I know this because I have done it. I have students that do it. right? The win-loss is not what it's about. It is about the risk-reward, right? I want you to think about it like this. If you have a 50 pip stop loss, in order for you to just get a 1 to 3, the trade has to go 150 pips. But if I have a 10 pip stop loss and I am precise enough, in order for my trade to go 1 to 3, I just needed to go 30 pips, right? So if my same trade goes that same 150 pips with a 10 pip stop loss, I now don't have a 1 to 3, I have a 1 to 15. It's not about the win-loss, it is about the risk to reward, right? And if you don't believe me, you try it yourself, right? You try it yourself. Try to see if you can hold lesser stop loss but more pips in your reward or your take profit, and see what it does for your ultimate results, right? Tip number 6, do not limit yourself to not looking at new pairs. In other words, I don't have a limit in terms of what I don't or do look at. I would look at more or less anything. If it is you say take a look at Facebook, I will. No, I don't trade it. I didn't say don't limit yourself in terms of what you trade, but don't limit yourself in terms of what you look at. And the reason for this is very simple. By absorbing more data, it makes you much easier. It makes things much easier for you to be able to understand, because now you have a reference point. So by looking at more pairs, you not only have more opportunities, but you have more reference points to build from and draw from, increasing your ability to have a better perspective. You understand? So that's something that I feel that really helped me a lot, by just not limiting myself to only looking at 1 or 2 pairs. I look at them all. Alright? Tip number 7. Do not be afraid to set a trade and walk away. You see, I'll tell you this. You know they say, time will never move slower when you're looking at it. Time flies when you're having fun, right? It kind of comes like you're watching paint dry, you're watching grass grow. Don't do that. When you set your trade, you've done your analysis, you've done the work, you've done your analysis, and you've executed the trade. What are you watching? What are you watching? You wait for it to go towards where you want it to go, and then you let it do what it has to do. This is the best thing you could do, because it now does not affect your emotions. Come back and check it periodically, but I can tell you, by walking away, maybe even going to sleep, going and do something, run an errand, do something else. By doing that, what it does is it keeps you out of your head, and it allows you to be more stable when and if you do lose the trade, or when and if you do win the trade, right? I can assure you, the problem that most traders have has nothing to do with the strategy. It's more to do with how you interact with what is going on in the industry. Yeah? Tip number 8. Don't ever assume that you know what the market is going to do next. Let me make something very clear. You don't know. Alright? You don't know. You do not know. Nor do I. And nor does your mentor or your friend or anybody. Nobody. None of us retail traders, because I'm a retail trader just like you. None of us know what the market is going to do. We don't. Right? We have a general idea or a concept or a belief on what it might do based on previous data, but nobody knows what it's going to do. So don't ever assume that the market has to do this. No. That's the whole point of a stop loss. If you know what the market is going to do, I challenge you, trade without a stop loss. And if you already do that, then, well, all is lost for you, right? Tip number 9. Don't listen to people who say that they know. Don't. It's very unlikely that this person is actually a prophet or a psychic or an oracle or a wizard. Maybe it's possible, but it's not very probable, right? They don't know the future. So if they're telling you that they know what the market's going to do, guess what? They are loaded, they are full of BS, right? And tip number 10. This is a law that I literally embody to this very day. Don't ever go against the momentum unless a reversal is clear. I have found that trying to go against whatever the market is doing almost always leads me to lose my trade. I have found when I actually just figure out where the market is going and then follow that, this is not the same as the trend is your friend, because I am not a trend trader. I am a momentum trader. I have found that when the market is going up, I look for more buys. It works. That's just the way it works for me. Alright? I think if you follow that tip, if none of these other ones that I do, I think if you follow that, you might get better results. Obviously, you still need to have your entry technique and all of that down. Stop loss down, risk management down, all of that. But I think if you follow this one rule, this one tip, you'll be better off as a trader. Yeah? Guys, I haven't done a video in a while. I say let me just do a little tip video just to kind of give you an idea of some of the things that really helped me and helped me build up into what I am today. Alright? If you like the video, definitely hit like, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment. Do you agree with any of these things? Do you disagree? I have no problem in you challenging any of these tips. Alright? Maybe you do know. Maybe you are a witch. Challenge me. Comment it below. Do you disagree? If you agree, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Alright? Guys, have a great one. See you all on the next side.